Donald Trump continues to make everything for his staffers so much worse than it needs to be by running his stupid mouth. Last week, we saw several examples of this, right? Obviously, there was his lawyers going to court and saying, no, Elon Musk doesn't work for Doge. He's sure as hell not in charge of it. And then Trump repeatedly saying throughout the week, I put Elon in charge of Doge. So his lawyers are kind of panicked because now they've basically lied to the judge in the court filing. But his staffers, his regular staffers, are also not immune from this. You see, last Tuesday, an interview aired with Donald Trump where he said unequivocally, no cuts to Medicare, no cuts to Medicaid. Those are programs that help the neediest among us. This is health care for the elderly, health care for low-income people. We're going to protect it, he says. That was Tuesday evening. Wednesday morning, hours after that interview aired, Donald Trump got on Truth Social and full-throatedly endorsed the Republican budget proposal from the House of Representatives that calls for massive cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. The programs that Trump promised just the night before, totally not going to touch them at all. No, those are good things. I don't care about cutting them. No, not happening. And then he's like, yeah, we're totally going to cut these things in the Republican budget. Yeehaw, right? So from that moment forward, going all the way through the weekend into today, his staffers have been in full-blown panic mode, receiving phone calls from, I will say, unhappy Republicans in the House of Representatives demanding answers as to where Trump actually stands on the issue of us cutting all these programs. You know, we thought he had our back. He said he does, but then he says this in the interview. We don't know what to do now. We're waiting for the king to give us instructions. So the White House ended up releasing a statement. The Trump administration is committed to protecting Medicare and Medicaid while slashing the waste, fraud, and abuse within those programs, reforms that will increase efficiency and improve care for beneficiaries. So they want the cuts. See, here's the issue here. Two issues. First one, obviously, these Republicans in the House of Representatives have wanted to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the SNAP program, anything that helps low-income people here in the United States. They've been wanting to cut it for decades. They've now got their opportunity to do it, and that is written into their new budget. But they know that if they do that, they're going to get walloped in 2026, 2028, possibly even beyond that. So in order to make this more palatable to the public, these Republicans are under the false belief that the public loves Donald Trump. So they want Trump to stand behind them and say that, yes, this is what we're going to do. So then those voters can say, like, oh, or the Republicans can say, oh, look, he's with us and you guys love him. They don't. Like, look at the poll numbers. Look at the election results. Didn't get 50% of the popular vote. He's not as big, bad, and powerful as you guys think because you're not paying attention to actual numbers, but that is the belief they have. So if Trump is not standing firmly behind them on the issue of cutting these safety net programs, they know they're screwed. They're screwed anyway. They just think they're not if he's behind them. The second big issue is the waste, fraud, and abuse lie, right? We have seen Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Caroline Leavitt, the whole slew of Republican morons in this administration talking about waste, fraud, and abuse. Waste, fraud, and abuse. We found waste here. We found abuse. Oh, look, there's some fraud. But they've never actually been able to point to anything, right? The things they have pointed to have been either incorrect or complete and total fabrications. But they're using that as the excuse to slash these programs. That is the excuse, right? And I'm sure a lot of people think that that's palatable, right? Well, of course we got to get rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse. We don't want our tax money going to fraud. That's crazy. Sure, it's crazy. But it's also not happening in the numbers that this administration is telling you. So these voters will accept the cuts because they believe my benefits are not going to be touched. I'm not fraudulent. I got nothing to worry about. And then when the budget passes, in just a week or so, and the budget cuts happen, and you start looking down at your Social Security check, realize that, wait a minute, there's some numbers missing here, then you'll know. Then you'll realize your mistake. Then I will sit right back here in this very uncomfortable chair and once again do a story about how Trump voters realize they got screwed. I do it every time. It's very predictable at this point, but that is what will happen. That is the excuse they're going to use. And that's why Republicans want to make sure that Trump is behind him, not just because it makes it more palatable to the voters, but also so those Republicans have someone to blame when the 2026 midterms roll around. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.